Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Harsh Language Podcast.
Yo, yo,
Oh
yo.
boy.
This is episode 101. It's a whole new
Let's go.
era of the
Yeah.
Harsh Language Podcast, starting fresh, kind of. Not really.
Era.
101 feels new, doesn't it? Feels like
Yep.
Gen B.
Zoe 101. You guys a fan? Love
No,
that show.
never even heard of it.
What?
Zoe 101?
Yeah.
Have I heard of that shit? I don't think so. That sounds like some
Oh,
kid
it's
show
got
that
a
I was
great
like a little
intro
too
song.
old for. Oh
It's
yeah, I don't-
Nickelodeon.
Nah. This is
Britney Spears' sister.
Nah.
Great show.
This is-
Somebody's gonna be like, oh wow, Dan doesn't know this show.
This is past my era. I was already graduated in fucking high school by then. Come on, son.
Yeah, so what?
I was fucking delivering pizzas. I can't be watching Zoe 101.
Missing out.
What the hell are we supposed to use, man? Harsh language?
End of summer. Hope everybody had a good summer. Is today the official end of summer, Labor Day? I don't know.
Mm-mm.
Not
It's
really.
like
No.
it's like mid-September.
Yeah, but it's kind of the end of summer, right? Like everybody goes back to school tomorrow, at least here where I live, you know?
Yeah, it's in the
So-
summer. Yeah, for kids, it is for sure.
We're getting real
Yeah,
close to
school
my
started
favorite
last
time
week
of
for
year,
us.
as you guys
Fall.
know.
Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
Michael
yeah.
Myers.
Funny.
September 22nd is the last day officially.
Yeah, September. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to wear white after Labor Day, so right? Is that the thing? Right? You're not supposed to wear white after Labor Day?
I thought it was you're not supposed to be white or
Yeah.
something.
Oh, that's crazy. Maybe I might have to put on some black.
Everyone's fucked.
Yeah, everybody's fucked. What have you guys been up to? How's everybody been?
I've been good. Haven't been watching much besides One Piece. I've been playing a lot of Valve's new game. A lot.
That looks so bad though. I'm upset with
No,
you.
you wouldn't understand. You don't even play the league, so
I actually got it gifted to me by somebody, and I was like, "Why are you giving me this? Like, this is just totally not my shit."
it's extremely fun. It's fast paced.
It's like a MOBA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shooter MOBA.
Kind of like what was that game? Heroes of the Storm. It's like that.
Nah, that's more of a typical MOBA. This one's a shooter, so
Okay.
it's a lot more fast paced.
I've been playing a lot of Tarkov, so
Yeah.
what I've been doing. I did. I don't remember if we talked about it when we recorded 2 weeks ago. Dusty, but did I mention I was watching that show Bad Monkey with Vince Vaughn? I did, right? I'm pretty sure I did. I started it.
Yeah, because I added it to my list.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
it was funny. It's funny so far.
Yeah. I
was-
just watched the first episode today.
Yeah, I was watching
Oh,
that.
nice.
And I watched. I started watching Lady in the Lake, which I talked to you guys about. I haven't finished it yet, but those two are good. I've been on a little bit of a lull. I like you guys know I fucking did some work on my show watching the last couple weeks, so
Burnt yourself out.
I don't think I burned myself out. Tarkov has just been like taking up a lot of my time,
No, I get it. I've
as it
been
usually
gaming a lot.
does. Yeah. Have you watched anything, Dusty? Anything good?
I mean, I went and saw Alien
Oh, yeah.
Romulus at the
Yeah, yeah.
theater
How was
last week.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah, it was good.
Was it everything you hoped it would be?
Not entirely. After watching it, like going in and watching it, I thought, wow, it was good. It's good. It felt fresh, felt different. It wasn't the crap that we got from Covenant and the other movies. And it was like kind of a mishmash of Alien and Aliens.
Yeah.
Right.
And there were a lot of Easter eggs and tributes. But after I thought about watching it and then hearing some of the complaints, I can understand some of them. But I thought it was good. I liked it.
I tried-
Noah Hawley did a good job. Oh, this is
Yeah.
Fede Alvarez, not Noah Hawley. His stuff isn't out yet.
Noah Hawley's show's coming. So this
Yeah.
fits between what? This is between 1 and 2, right? I think. I'm almost positive.
Yes,
And
correct.
I think what
Yeah.
Fede Alvarez's goal was because it's set between 1 and 2, he wanted to capture the feel of both films in one kind of. I heard it does that like pretty well, because as everybody knows, Alien and 1 or 2 are very different movies.
Yeah,
and-
so I guess What the premise that makes it weird is like the opening sequence. You find out like
Sorry.
they rescue the alien
Mm-hmm.
that Ripley blew into space. Like you start out and they're like they show up at this wreckage and they grab the frozen body of the alien and they start doing tests on it and stuff. We were like,
Yeah.
well, there was a couple thermonuclear weapons that went off as well as it being,
Mhm.
you know, ejected into space. None of that stuff would be together. So that's kind of the dumb stuff of it, like how they
Nice.
explain.
That's a good little Dusty gripe.
Yeah. But
Classic.
other than that, I mean, it was good. It was a good movie. Good story.
I heard there was
Nice.
like an egregious sort of like member berry moment. But I didn't really like I heard the I don't want to
What
spoil the
moment?
member berries at the South Park thing. You remember the episode
Oh.
of member berries or member?
No. All I remember is Mr. Hanky.
No, okay. So South Park did an episode where they made fun of like all the movies that just do cheap
Mm.
callbacks, and they called them member berries, and they were like these little berries that were like,
Yes.
I member.
Yeah.
But so I heard there's like a moment.
Yeah, there's
like
a couple that are unnecessary. Yes, there's one that's like totally unnecessary. It didn't need to happen.
like one's a direct line of dialogue. I think I heard, and I'm sure.
Yes.
I know what it is. But then also they brought back what's his name, or not him specifically, but like his likeness, the robot.
Brooke. Yeah. Mhm.
And I know a couple people had
The
issues with
android
that.
from-
Yeah.
The android
Oh.
from the first one. Yeah. It was not him, but it was one like him. He was the guy.
It's supposed to be like
so
the like part
they're
of the
going
same.
to the ship to get these cryopods because they're trying to get the fuck out, and the ship is abandoned, and they find him there, and they turn him back on, and he looks a lot like Rook and
Yeah.
acts a lot like Rook.
But he's supposed to be part of like the line of androids that Rook was, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Correct.
I don't think that's that bad. I mean, whatever. But I
No, that wasn't.
mostly heard good things about it, so I'm excited to watch it. I didn't get a chance to go see it. Also excited about Beetlejuice.
I mean, there's some dumb character tropes in it too. Yeah, I'm excited about that one too. Yeah.
Beetlejuice coming out this week. It's getting good reviews, I've heard. So that's cool. I'm excited to see that.
Yeah.
What else?
I
Oh,
might get to watch it this week. I'm not sure.
yeah, I think maybe we'll try. Did you guys watch any Did you guys watch any of the stuff I posted? Specifically the trailer for Apartment 7A?
No, because I don't think I
No, I
saw
haven't
the
watched the trailer for
original
that yet.
You did?
apartment.
No.
What's the original?
This is the
No,
sequel.
no.
This is a prequel
This
to
is-
Rosemary's
yeah.
Baby.
Oh.
You couldn't tell from the green, Marvin? The cover art?
Yeah, we talked about this in the news a little bit
Mhm.
briefly. It's about the lady that
Dusty brought it up,
disappeared.
and then I got mad. And the trailer just popped up on my feed, but I didn't really hear much about it. And it really looks bad, but it's about the character, if you remember from Rosemary's Baby. Remember the girl she met in the laundry who gave her the necklace with the ball on it and then ended up dead, the young girl who was living
Oh,
there?
yeah.
So this is about her.
God, why?
I don't know.
They're going to fuck something up. Watch.
The character is Terry. So, I don't know if you remember, but in Rosemary's Baby, when they move into the apartment building, she meets
Yeah.
Terry in the laundry room, and they become kind
Yep.
of friends. And then
remember.
they come home from dinner, and she's dead, and it's like a big deal.
The stinky necklace.
Yeah, it's like the first mysterious thing that happens in the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Another prequel where they're going to change something.
Well, like,
Turns out Rosemary had
Yeah.
twins and there was another baby or something.
oh, but hey, hang on. So here's the thing, right? So according to the trailer, right, she is, I guess, like a dancer, and she moves into this apartment building. She moves in with the old people, and they
Yeah.
like. It seems like this takes place like mere weeks or months before Rosemary's Baby. So like, what's the
Ugh.
fucking point of that?
The
I don't-
same shit with the other prequel we just watched recently. The
Yeah,
First Omen.
right.
It literally took place like
Minutes.
so yeah, like what the fuck? What's the point?
So we're
we
just
know we got enough information of that stuff.
yeah, and especially with such a classic.
Somebody in film watches that movie. They watch that movie and they're like, wow, what do you think happened to that lady? I don't know. We could probably make a series about it if we pitch it right. Yeah, let's do it.
A series.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's a little bit weird, but so
Lazy.
and it's like the same like they recasted Roman and Minnie, and like It's like, what's the
come
point?
on.
Yeah, I don't really understand. And the person
Not
who's
even going to be the same vibe from the old annoying lady.
Well,
It's
you
not.
kind of have
She
to
was way
recast
too
them.
annoying.
of course you have to recast them, yeah, for sure, because they're for sure
for
not alive,
sure.
or if they are, they're 1,000 years
Dig
old.
her up.
They're probably not alive. The only like saving grace to this might be the fact that Julia Garner's in this. Of course, Julia Garner was the goat in Ozark. Ruth.
Ooh.
So-
I do love her.
Yeah, I mean, she's a great actor. So, I mean, maybe it'll be good. But honestly, like, the trailer didn't really do much for me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being, like, petty and salty. But, like, I don't know. Who's asking for this? That's the thing.
Nobody's asking.
And that's the weird shit about what we're always talking about here with, like, what's going on in Hollywood. It's like, who's asking for this? I don't think anybody. And, you know, you could argue, one could make the argument, like, well, who asked for a Beetlejuice sequel? Nobody. But, like, you know, at least it's like Tim Burton, like, revisiting one of his projects that you know, at least he's going to treat it with, like, the care that it deserves. It's not fucking Paramount Plus, like, let's make a fucking Rosemary's Baby prequel. Like, what? I don't know. It's just bizarre. And the person directing it.
Be like David Goyer Green doing the
Gordon
Thing
Green?
or something remake. Yeah.
And this is the person directing it. This is her first. This is her directorial debut, so that's, you know, that's scary. But
how do we feel about the couple not returning to Beetlejuice 2? I really like them. The what was their name?
Oh, Baldwin and what's her name?
Yeah,
I mean, I get it.
Gina Davis.
There might be a cameo. You never know.
Maybe
Maybe they kept it quiet.
Burton said, quote, I think for me it was that I didn't want to just tick any boxes. So even though they were such an amazing integral part of the first one, I focused on something else.
Well, I think that's neat because they were the main characters of the original Beetlejuice. I think if you think back to Beetlejuice, like, obviously history treats Lydia a little bit more as like an icon from that movie. I mean, the whole cast is definitely good, but like, they're like the driving forces of that plot. So I don't mind it that they're focusing on something else. Because you would assume, I don't even, how does the first Beetlejuice end? It's been a really long time since I've seen it, but I'm pretty sure, don't they like get to move on? Oh no, they live in the house with them like afterwards, and they Oh, you know what? That is a little bit weird. Hopefully they address it.
Weird.
Maybe it's like they address it that they like moved on or something.
Baldwin was kind of going through some stuff too.
Well, yes, the real life
filming
yes,
the
murder
movie.
someone.
for sure. Yeah, I
Got
mean,
away with it.
maybe he'll maybe they address it in the movie, like, you know, what happened to them.
Bad taste.
No, I don't think so. I mean, he did. I mean, it's a very
Controversial.
It's a very
He shot
controversial
somebody
thing.
dead.
He did.
Crazy.
Speaking of somebody getting shot on the set of a movie, I've been hearing just the most wretched reviews for The Crow. Have you seen him, Dusty? Because you were kind of excited for this.
Yeah, I was a little bit. Yeah, I don't know, man. With the Rotten Tomato, it's 4.7 on IMDb right now.
Yeah, it's bad.
65%. It's actually 65% on Rotten Tomato from the audience, but it's got a 22% critic score. So
yeah, well, even
I don't know. This is Rupert Sanders. He did Foundation, which I like. It's a great show. He did Ghost in the Shell. It was all right. Snow White and the Huntsman I thought was good. So I had hopes for it, but I don't know. I'm a little, I guess.
Well, even the
jolted from it.
The director of the original, I think, said something. Alex Proyas, I think he said something about this being like a cheap cash grab.
Yeah,
or
he's
something.
been attacking it from the get go. Yeah.
Yeah. I had a question. I forgot. I almost wasn't
the
gonna.
writer of the book, I think, was partly behind it. So
yeah,
the original
this stuff.
I almost forgot to bring it up, but I had like a controversial take I wanted to bring up with you guys. Marvin, have you seen The Crow? I don't even know if you have the original.
The original?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Brandon Lee.
That means you haven't.
Okay.
Dusty. It's obviously a movie Dusty like really likes, and I like it too. It's a cult classic. But I have a question, probably I guess just aimed at Dusty. Do you think that The Crow, the original, stands alone on its own as a movie, Or do you think the majority of its popularity comes from the fact of the circumstances surrounding it of his death, Brandon Lee's death? Because before you answer, not only do you have Brandon Lee dying on set from a gun that was supposed to be blank, right? Or it was supposed to be blanks, but he is the son of Bruce Lee, who also died of mysterious circumstances, and there have been many rumors surrounding his death. So do you think The Crow was sort of propped up by that, or do you think it stands on its own as a good movie?
I still think it's a good movie. The story is good. There's still a large fan base and following for the story and the graphic novel. So,
True.
Yeah, I think it's yeah.
So you
He
think it
died
would
on set of before they finished like filming, or
Yeah, they were shooting, and there was a gun scene where the gun was supposed to have a blank in it, and apparently it did, but there was something lodged in the barrel or something. I don't know, mysterious stuff. But he took a projectile to the face, I think.
oof.
So he was filming a scene in which his character shot and killed by the thugs. In the scene, Lee's character walks into his apartment and discovers his fiance being beaten. And in a film shoot prior to the fatal scene, the gun that was used as a prop, a real revolver, was loaded with improperly made dummy rounds, improvised from live cartridges that had the powder charges removed by the special effects crew. So in close-ups, the revolver would show normal-looking ammunition. However, the crew neglected to remove the primers from the cartridges, and at some point before the fatal event, one of the rounds had been fired. Although there were no powder charges, the energy from the ignited primer was enough to separate the bullet from the casing and push it partway into the gun barrel where it got stuck. A dangerous condition known as a squib load. So, yeah.
Wow.
But, you know, again, it's added to. I mean, obviously, there's negligence there, as there was with the Alec Baldwin thing, but it's extra. Like it was extra, not mysterious, but it was just, it had an extra air of like weirdness to it because of the death of his father, which had like more of a mystery surrounding it. There was some stuff, I don't know all the intricacies of it, but I know that Bruce Lee's death, like there were like rumors of that, like it was the triads that like put out a hit on him and like all sorts of crazy shit.
The fuck?
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I was just curious when I was hearing these bad reviews. I was like, you know what? The Crow is a good movie, the original one. And like Dusty just said, the graphic novel's popular. But did the circumstances of his death like really propel the movie into like pop culture fandom? It had
I'm
to
sure
have.
it certainly helped.
Yeah, it had to have. It had to have. The other
but
thing,
it's still a good movie. I've rewatched it several times.
Yeah, it is.
Still watchable.
It is. Might have to be a Make Marvin watch.
Yep.
Now, the other thing I wanted to run by you guys, I posted it, nobody reacted to it, and I was a little upset. I had shared this a couple of weeks ago, that Alfonso Cuarón, the director of I almost said No Country for Old Men, Children of Men, that we made Marvin watch a couple months back.
Great movie.
Alfonso Cuarón is doing a show for none other than Apple TV, I believe. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Apple TV. The show is called Disclaimer, and Cate Blanchett's in it. And I was really excited about it because it sounds fantastic. Follows Catherine Ravenscroft, a television documentary journalist whose work has been built on revealing the transgressions of long-respected institutions. It is already 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it premieres on October 11th. It is Apple TV. So, yeah, I had just wanted to revisit that because I had brought it up to you guys that this was coming, and I was excited for it. And, man, Apple, baby.
No, that is exciting. I just didn't know his name, so I didn't really know.
Oh, Alfonso Cuarón? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one.
7 chapters.
Oh, man, I really hope. I mean, I'm really curious to see how this. We talked about it a little bit, but I'm really curious to see how this, like, I guess, them stepping back or pulling back a little bit their output. I wonder how that's going to look.
Well, everybody is.
No, I know, but I mean, Apple's like, I think you had reported on it. They're like losing a fuck ton, right? Or I'm sure they are. They have to be for them to be doing.
Yeah, they were. Everybody was though. There was only one company. I think it was WB because of their global stuff that was even looking at breaking even. The rest of them were still losing money.
So you're saying they're breaking even, not even because of their like original stuff, probably because of their other IPs, I would imagine, right?
It's just because their rollouts to other regions are generating more revenue. So they're.
I see.
It's the global regional rollouts of channels across the world. It's really, but I mean, some of their stuff. I mean, I don't know. You get some billion-dollar IPs.
Yeah,
they're churning out crap for all the time.
Did you hear the other big news? I mean, we might as well just get into the news while we're at it. I mean, unless you guys have anything to catch up on.
No, let's do it.
Real quick, before Dusty gets into his stuff, I saw that Mike Flanagan has been posting some stuff. Finally, his movie Hush is digital for the first time, apparently.
Yeah, I gotta watch that.
That's a great movie. And such a cool concept for a film. It's basically about a deaf girl who's living alone, basically in like the fucking woods somewhere, and there's like a fucking killer or whatever, like kind of stalking her. But the fact that she's deaf and mute is like so interesting because not only can she not fucking hear, but when she finally is aware of the situation, she can't fucking like communicate it to anybody for help. So. Right. Really, really cool movie. I love that. He also said,
why did it take so long to go digital? Maybe it was being shopped around or something.
I'm not sure.
Or no one just wanted to pick it up. Maybe
I'm not sure. But he also is over with Netflix.
Over like their contract or whatever.
I'm assuming so. But he said some like he's been saying some stuff. Like over the past couple months about how like not like shit talking Netflix, just kind of like not being super nice to them because he's done a lot of stuff for them. He did fucking 5 shows I think.
Yeah.
And I don't know if his contract with Netflix had anything to do with his other films. I couldn't imagine. I don't know if it was a Netflix original. I hadn't really looked into it, but he teased that like he has some other big news. So I'm hoping that a lot of his other stuff is gonna maybe go.
He's with Amazon now, right?
Well, he's doing the what is he doing? He's doing the Dark Tower series, right?
With Amazon, yeah.
With Amazon. And now he's doing the Exorcist thing. And I don't know who owns the Exorcist, so I'm not sure. I don't think that's not going to be Amazon, but.
Right.
Oh, you know what? There's one other thing I wanted to talk about. Sorry to jump topics real quick, but I had finally watched. I didn't watch the whole movie because I've heard it's boring and bad from you. But I finally watched that. I think the scene that you were talking about in the movie with the killer, where you follow the killer's perspective.
Oh yeah,
because it was like because everybody like Nick had brought it up. I hung out with Nick this weekend, and he was like, "Why is everybody on TikTok talking about this?" And I was like, "You know what?" I was like, "Marvin mentioned it too." So we looked it up. Is it the one with like the hook in the head and like?
Oh yeah, that shit was like Mortal Kombat fatality.
Yeah, it was so. But like everybody on TikTok was like, "Oh man, it's so disturbing." I wasn't really that disturbed by it.
Like,
it was funny.
Like, yeah,
yeah, it was just like a Mortal Kombat fatality. It was funny.
Yeah.
But apparently that's getting a sequel too. I don't know.
Nah, it didn't really gross me out. I just thought it was awesome. Like,
yeah,
it didn't. Some Saw stuff is more gross to me than that was.
So here it is. So I looked it up. So it'll be released pay video on demand for the first time, in collaboration with Blumhouse. The film will be available for purchase and or rent across major digital entertainment platforms in the U.S. So it's not just that it's going digital; it's like purchasable for people to own it. This won't be the first time Hush has ever been available on streaming. The film was on Netflix until being unceremoniously removed in 2023. So
okay, I see.
So I wonder. I guess Netflix doesn't own that movie. It was probably just on there, but he has some other surprising news. So I'm looking out for that. I think
his stuff is going to be on Amazon mostly because he definitely did sign a deal with them.
But Amazon would have to buy his shows from Netflix. I don't know if they're doing that, but maybe.
I don't know about that.
Who
I
knows?
don't know about that. I'm just saying his future stuff.
Yeah, so
seems-
says Flanagan previously wrote in his blog in 2023 that he tried to work with Netflix for years to release the work I created for them on physical media, and that was I've mentioned
I
this
remember
before.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that.
The
They've
post,
done a few things on physical, but not much.
yeah, and the post was prompted by the streaming platform removing Hush from its digital library. Flanagan's overall deal at Netflix expired with House of Usher. He's since moved to Amazon, another tech giant, but one that he says has a somewhat different perspective on physical media. So, okay, we'll see what happens.
Well, you can't go to Apple, or he's going to be only digital.
yeah, well. But yeah, so what kind of news you got for us, Dusty? It's been 2 weeks. What you working with?
No, we don't have a lot. There's a couple things that I thought were pretty interesting. I don't know we got the Superman
Oh, that looks
trailer.
great. Yeah, did you guys watch the trailer for
Christopher Reeve
that?
documentary. I have not. No, I don't want to. I just want to watch the documentary when it comes out. It's
I sent it to you
Oh,
guys.
documentary.
I like literally woke up and like
Mhm.
it was the first thing I saw on my phone when I woke up. Literally just like sobbing in my bed at 10:30 in the morning, like watching it. It looks really good.
yeah, it does. It looks really good.
and it's
I was
about, like,
excited when we
it-
first reported on it.
It's really not about Superman. Like it's about the fact that he was like, he advocated for people like him after his injury. Like he took something terrible that most people would probably like roll over and die because of, and he turned it into like a positive thing. So that seems to
Yeah.
be what like the documentary is going to be about.
It
But it looks good.
Yeah, he could have disappeared and lived his life quietly, but he took on the mantle of what he believed in. It was good stuff.
Yep.
So
And-
yeah, I'm
and
looking forward to it.
embodied the character he became famous for. I'd love to see
Yeah.
that when that happens.
Right.
What else you got?
So I guess we'll stick with Superman. Superman and Lois, season 4. Did you hear about this one?
I did not.
Will now debut with a two
2 hour,
episode
yeah.
premiere Monday, October 7th,
It's so soon.
2024. It was originally, I think, scheduled for the October 17th, but CW has been done some juggling. Although, I don't know, Brad Schwartz, who's president of entertainment at CW, he had this to say, which I thought was a little off-putting, but we'll see. He says, and by the way, you can watch this final season without having watched the previous seasons and still be emotionally invested in what is happening. It's
Yeah.
a wonderful 10-episode contained arc.
Well,
Like they did a story within the story that doesn't, all the other stuff doesn't matter.
no,
Feels like,
no, I can't even really say to you what. I mean, you didn't finish the last season, right? Because you were waiting.
the last 2 episodes, correct. Yeah, I will watch them.
Do you have
once we
any
get,
inkling of
closer to
where they're
October.
going? Because like I won't mention it if you don't.
I mean,
I mean, to discuss this properly, for me to address what you just said, your concern, I would have to tell you how season 4 ends. I mean, this last season ends.
yeah, no, it's fine.
I won't say anything.
Yeah.
It's fine. But you,
Okay.
I mean, if you just thought like a little bit, you would know. But yeah, I could
Yeah,
see.
I mean, I'm sure I've thought about it already, but it's been a while since I've watched any of it. So
I could see why he said
that's
that.
why I'm
And
holding on the last 2 episodes.
yeah, I could see why he said that. And I'll just say that don't fear. Like it makes sense why he said that.
Okay. All right, but yeah, we got a 10-day bump on Superman and
And a
Lois.
2-hour
It's gonna be
premiere.
October 17th.
Very
but now
excited.
It's October 7th. Yeah, 2-hour premiere and then an episode a week. I had 10 episodes, so yeah,
Weekly.
we'll get 8 weeks of Superman and Lois. Yeah.
I can't be doing the weekly shit no
Okay,
more.
What do we
man.
got here?
I know we've bitched about it before, but that's why I kind of stopped watching some shows because I was only watching Lady in the Lake and then Bad Monkey, and I was like, this week to week shit, I can't be just waiting for shit. I gotta
I hate
just.
it.
Speaking of week to week, you know that how Dusty season 2 of Rings of Power started, which I think was getting some
It
positive.
started?
Premiered last week, I think. Pretty sure.
Oh, the new season.
Yeah, season 2.
Ah,
So I got to get
I
on
have
that.
not seen the movies or the first season, of course.
Yeah, well, we're gonna get you to watch them at some point. You know that. It's
Yeah,
just gonna...
maybe about episode 200.
no, it's gonna be a lot of work, but because you can't just watch the first one, you got to watch like all 3.
Ugh.
It's not that. I
I
mean,
need to
listen,
watch them in like hour segments, like
Nah.
it's a TV show.
you don't even feel it, bro. I mean, you could do that though. I guess hour segments. That wouldn't be too terrible. But
Sounds good.
what else, Dusty? What else you got for us?
Nah. Okay, well, speaking of getting IPs that you didn't make, or
Mhm.
right? I guess these are a little bit different because they're partnerships. But Annapurna has partnered with games maker Remedy Entertainment. Annapurna is a company. It's also a mountain in Nepal. They do game development and publishing and film and stuff like that.
Okay.
But they have partnered with Remedy Entertainment to turn the Control and Alan Wake video game franchise into films, TV series, and other projects, is what the Hollywood Reporter is reporting on.
Okay.
Remedy's pact with Annapurna follows ex-Epic Games exec Hector Sanchez returning to Annapurna as president. So this is somebody at the top moving around like, hey, let's do a deal together. I
haven't played
Alan Wake,
Control,
okay.
but I know a couple people that have like raved about Control. I have, however, played the first Alan Wake. I never got around to playing the second one. I heard it wasn't as good. The first Alan Wake is fantastic.
I tried to play it, but
Yeah,
it's
that's
a
a
little
good game.
dated at this point. So I
Is it?
welcome a series. Yeah.
I think it would make a good show. The only thing that's interesting is that game pulls so much from other shows, like Twin Peaks, for instance. So, like, like, is it just gonna?
Twin Peaks.
Yeah, like,
My buddy's a big fan of Twin Peaks.
Marvin, everybody who's watched it is a big fan of Twin Peaks.
I haven't seen it.
One of the best shit. I haven't seen it. Like a badge of honor.
Yeah.
Can't relate.
But I thought it was interesting. A couple of ex Epic Games executives have gone over to Annapurna, and now they're trying to partner with companies to get video game IPs off the ground into film and television. So
Speaking of, trailers and Lord of the Rings, did you? Well, I think I shared it with you guys. The animation for War of the Rohirrim. Did you guys watch that? Or no?
yeah, I believe I did
War
watch
of
that.
the
Yeah.
what?
Rohirrim. There's one of the like
I can't even spell that. What is it?
Rohirrim.
Oh, Lord of the Rings.
It's an animated movie. It looks really fucking good. And you could
Yeah.
probably
I didn't see the trailer.
it's something you could probably watch and enjoy, Marvin, because it takes place 200 years before the War of the Ring. It's not like you would need like, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be stuff in it that like, a fan would appreciate, somebody familiar
Yeah.
with, but it looks really good for an animation. I'm pretty excited for that.
Kinji Kamiyama.
Oh yeah.
Ghost in the Shell. Oh, he did
Mm,
Ghost in the Shell. Okay.
Yeah.
the OG.
Oh, he did a lot of Ghost in the Shell stuff.
Marvin approves.
Yeah.
Oh, Blood the Last Vamp. I forgot about this.
What else we got, Dusty?
Okay. Let's see. I'll stick with
these
DC
guys.
here. Lauren LaFranc, creator and showrunner of The Penguin, shut down any hopes of our boy Bobby P cameoing in the show. Robert Pattinson. We got the Batman 2 coming out soon, but she was talking about how the Batman is a viewpoint from Batman himself. It's a higher viewpoint, and the view of the Penguin is dirty streets and looking up, trying to get to that power.
Yeah.
So he won't be showing up. It sounds like no cameos, or maybe she's just lying. And
Dirty Streets.
Tom
you
to
know a lot about
believing us.
Dirty Streets, huh?
What'd you say, Marvin?
You know a lot about Dirty Streets.
Hell yeah.
New York.
That's
trying to
right.
catch me riding dirty.
Hold up. So I'm to believe that the Batman is not going to be in a show about one of his biggest
the universe.
villains in the universe.
That's already a fucking little shitty side universe. That's crazy.
Yeah, that seems a little bizarre
Yeah.
to me. Maybe they didn't want to dish out that.
It'll be
that
interesting to see how
Pattinson
they
money.
do it. I mean, it could be that it only takes place over a weekend, and that's how Penguin gets his power. And it really, like, we're not
Maybe.
talking about weeks or days or months, and because it takes place basically immediately right after the city was flooded.
Yeah, that's
So
fair.
I imagine Batman's also pretty busy with some shit, so he's got a window of chaos
That's fair.
to take the reins.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's true. That'll be interesting.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't wait to watch that. though.
Okay. Yeah, coming out soon. I didn't write the date down, but soon. Our industry scooper, Daniel Richtman, Got some stuff right and wrong here in the past. Talking about the Disney Plus Vision show, which is currently titled Vision Quest, which I believe is a story about Vision in the comics.
Yeah.
He had to say, I hear the show will have elements from the West Coast Avengers run and might even have members of that team in the series. So we'll see. That's not too surprising. West Coast Avengers team members include Hawkeye, Mockingbird, and War Machine. We've had 2 Mockingbirds in Marvel, but one of them, Dan says, is not canon because it was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But Hawkeye.
Marvin, what you drinking there? Sorry to interrupt you. That shit
It's a little caffeine thing.
Oh, okay. That shit look crazy.
Hawkeye, his wife, and War Machine, it wouldn't be unfeasible for them to be leading the West Coast Avengers.
No, I mean, they already kind of set that up with Hawkeye's wife, right? In the show Hawkeye, she's like, what was the agent, whatever the fuck? 47?
Mockingbird. Yeah, Agent 19.
Something like that. Agent 47 is Hitman from the Hitman video games. No, I can see that doing that. They are good games.
The first 2.
Yeah, I think that's
Vision news.
That Vision show is going to be tucked away into like the puppy came to visit. Oh, never mind. There's nothing there. Now I look like a psychopath.
Oh.
Hey, the puppy.
Hey, it's my imaginary puppy. No, there's That's I think one of the shows that I could tuck away into like the I don't really give a shit category, and like maybe it'll be good and that'll be a cool surprise. But like, I'm not particularly excited about that or anything.
Spader's supposed to show back up.
That I did hear. I think I shared that with you, right?
Yeah.
That he's showing up as
probably
as Ultron in the Vision show.
Yeah, Ultron.
Like, why are we we're at this point where like we're revisiting a lot of stuff. Everything's coming back.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to get through it, so they're trying to tie all these story ends down so they can reboot. I'm telling you, they're going to reboot the whole thing.
Maybe.
But we'll see.
Speaking of, though.
Okay, so...
Hang on. I'm sorry. Yeah. How about the heartbreaking news that Mads Mikkelsen was considered for Doctor Doom?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, we talked about that on the news when we were...
Yeah. Maybe he still is, but maybe you know...
It was him or Henry would have been great, but I liked the spoiler of, what did he call him in the movie? Cavalrine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's got to be Wolverine. There's just no other person that could play him at this point.
He could have been Dr. Doom, though.
I think so, yeah. He could have been.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Anyhow. All right, well, speaking of maybe dead, maybe not, Blade.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, there they are. Cute doggos.
They exist.
Comicbook.com is reporting that Yann Demange is still attached to the Blade movie despite reports of leaving the project.
Mm-hmm.
Feige announced, I think, right before Comic-Con that they had received a script and they would be reading over it soon. I would imagine they've read it over and have made a decision, but there's been no news. But comicbook.com is reporting that he's still attached, so we'll see. Feige kind of iterated that they want to get Blade right, and so they wouldn't be rushing it at all. So who knows how the fuck long it's going to take. But apparently he's got a script in hand and he's looking at, and the director is still attached, so we could still get a Mahershala Ali Blade.
Not happening.
Who knows?
Give it up.
I can't remember if it was one of you who mentioned it, but somebody mentioned it or I read it. Just fucking get rid of Mahershala. Just bring back fucking, what's his name already? Bring him back.
Yeah.
He was fine in Wolverine.
Wesley.
Wesley, yeah. I almost said Denzel.
Never too old to play Blade. That's one of the characters. Like, same thing with Samuel Jackson and Fury.
Nick Fury, yeah.
Yeah.
Although,
yeah.
I mean, if he gets like 70, then maybe.
He already is 70.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Doesn't look it.
No.
No, it's...
But that show was terrible. So maybe we're done with Nick Fury, you know?
Yeah, I don't know.
That wasn't his fault. He was great.
Yeah, he was good in the show. I'll give him. He's 75. He don't look it.
Damn. He definitely don't look 75.
No, he don't. He don't. What else you got, Dusty?
Well, speaking of maybe being done with things, Spider Noir show is already in trouble. Did you see this news?
Come
I didn't
on.
see the news, but I haven't cared about this, so I'm not
Wow.
upset.
Phil Lord and Christopher Miller reportedly in a heated fight with Sony over the budget of the show. This is coming from Puck. Sony Pictures Television is reportedly not expecting to renew the 5-year deal they signed with these two guys back in 2019. These guys were supposed to develop their Marvel characters, and Dan has been very abject, just detractor about the Sony Marvel characters, which is fair because while some of those movies are fun, some of those stories are kind of dumb.
Yeah,
But this one is the one I had the highest hopes for, like Nick Cage as an old throwback Spider-Man noir. Would have been good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The show will go forward. It'll happen. If it does, maybe they'll just bring in somebody else. I don't know. But these guys haven't actually directed anything in a while. They've written some stuff for these movies, so I don't know. But they're in contract disputes. So yeah. Spider-Man noir, tough stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess I got one more piece of news, unless you got anything else, Dan.
No, I was just gonna say there's like almost nothing I care less about than Sony shit at this point. Like I'm just so fucking over. I'm like I just can't wait for the day that you're like, hey, exciting news! Sony's giving their property, giving Spider-Man back to Marvel.
I'll never do it.
Eventually, it'll happen.
Disney will have to buy Sony.
It'll happen eventually. I mean, Disney's got the money. There's got to be a strategic. I mean, listen, if you're Sony, you obviously don't have to sell. So, I mean, it's like...
Sony Pictures is pretty big. Sony's a giant company, though. They're a hardware company as well.
No, for sure. Totally.
PS5. PlayStation's $1 billion fucking division.
Their game flopped, though. That Conquered game that...
I didn't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's like a Overwatch type game.
You guys remember when video games used to be good?
Yeah.
Some good ones.
Yeah, not like they used to be. Remember when video games? What?
Go ahead.
Yeah, you were gonna say something before what?
I thought he was gonna do a segue. I wanted to say one more thing before that.
Say it.
I know you did, Dan, but did everyone watch the Peter Pan horror trailer?
Yeah, that shit.
No,
good.
I have not watched. I'm not really interested in the Pooniverse.
I'm not either.
Pooniverse,
But that looks good.
I am. I'm about to go back and watch all the Pooniverse.
Pooniverse sounds dirty.
This is what it's called. There was wait, which one were you? The Captain Hook one? Yeah, I don't know.
It looks good.
That's crazy.
They're gonna keep it going too with more IP coming available as the years go on. They're just gonna keep adding.
That Walt
to
Disney
the
thing is just insane. Actually, like
Well,
the release of that to the public is so funny.
one of the things
Now we get all this stuff.
One of the things we lost in the fire when Blockbuster went away was the wonderful experience of discovery, specifically of like low budget shitty horror movies. I've talked a lot about how I grew up watching like really bad B horror movies, like
Just random, yeah.
and that was because you would go to Blockbuster and look at a fucking cover and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna watch this." And I'm talking.
It was the marketing. You were looking at a picture and reading a description, and that's all you had. You couldn't YouTube the trailer on your phone because you're the fucking
and you're hanging out.
90s.
You're hanging out with your friends. You're 15, 16. You want to watch like a gory horror movie, maybe cuddle up with like a girl that you got a crush on, you know, and they were all bad. Like I'm talking bad. There's a movie called Jack Frost. There's like 4 of them. And we're talking about a killer snowman, okay? I'm sorry,
Pumpkinhead.
Killer Santa Claus. There's a movie called Granny, where like there's this old demon granny, and you see like a dick get cut off with scissors, like, and it looks so bad. Like these bad horror movies, right?
Yeah.
And these Pooniverse movies are those. So there's like a charm to them that I miss.
It's like Sharknado.
Yeah, Sharknado's a little bit different. That's kind of like that was just dumb. There was just people who made movies, like low budget movies that there's like, oh, here's a horror movie. So these movies feel like that to me. And this one actually does like look cool because it's like it's an interesting twist. It's like, oh, what if fucking Peter Pan was like kidnapping children to fucking kill them? Because if you think about it, like that's I don't know, it's just creepy to see like a twist on like a children's fable like that. Can you guys stop
It
that?
is. Yeah. I didn't get to experience a lot of like the blockbuster stuff, but
man.
one movie I do remember seeing from renting it was like Saw, first Saw, or
Mhm.
Saw 1 or
Ooh.
2. I think it was probably 1.
I'm telling you, you go to Blockbuster on a Friday night and you're just walking around and you like just look. You're literally just looking at the cover. Half the time, I never even like read the shit. I was just like, oh, this looks scary, and like you pull it out and it's like some fucking bogus ass B movie. Like I just missed
Right.
that. Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah.
These.
It was definitely like an experience every
Yeah.
time you went into a movie rental place.
Oh yeah.
Because they always also had the
Yeah, but-
the big popcorn thing with
Mhm.
the, like the big bucket with the popcorn that you have to pop in there,
Yep.
Oh yeah.
and just like the candy and stuff.
Yep.
Get and
It
go.
was always
Yeah, get and
an
go.
experience.
And then before Blockbuster came out, there were like small like privately owned movie places that always had a back room with a curtain up there that you couldn't look in as a kid.
Oh yeah.
You don't even want to get caught like glancing over at it because then you'd have to explain to your parents how you even know what's back there. I used to watch
Right.
Married with Children with my dad. And Married with Children was like a very mature show, and I was
Right.
probably too young to watch it. He used to just let me watch it. And anytime there was like a sex joke, which was like every 2 seconds, I would always just like kind of just like
Yep.
fucking cover my head because like I wasn't, it's been embarrassing.
You're not
to,
supposed to know.
yeah, be like, I know what the joke is, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah. Miss video stores.
Mm.
I'm going to open up a video store and make no money, but just have it exist.
I mean, you could watch low budget
You
B
can.
movies, but you'd
It's
have
not
to
the
watch a movie
same.
rated below 5 on IMDb.
Yeah, I know, but it's not the same. It's not the same, dude. It's
There's
not.
no commitment.
There's the experience is
Yeah.
different. Like half the Friday the
Yeah.
13th movies I saw because of like just picking them out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, oh
There's
fuck,
no
there's,
commitment
Oh,
because you
there's
can
a
just
new one
turn it
now. Yeah,
off.
let's go. Let's watch it.
you
could
like
just turn it off, but otherwise, if you went and rented it and paid it, you would just watch. You would finish it.
Yeah.
Even if it's terrible, you're probably gonna finish it because you paid for it.
yeah, and like you would go and be like, oh fuck, there's like a Friday the 13th 11. Holy shit, I didn't even know. And then like you know, so
Yeah.
I don't know, that was fun.
Yeah.
But anyhow,
Be kind, rewind.
what else you got for us,
Right.
Dusty?
All right. Well, last piece of news here. We talked about it once already, but I guess he's still talking about it a little bit. Vince Vaughn was on Hot Ones talking about comedies and how they don't make comedies the way they used to.
He's right.
And he was
So you can't
also,
say
he just
F-bombs.
recently did an interview with Variety
Yeah.
where he kind of expanded on what he said on Hot Ones.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically what he said. He said, like Kurt Vonnegut said, if you open a window and try and please everyone, you'll catch pneumonia. I
That's
think
right.
the stuff that does resonate is always things that at least feel like they're being authentic to the piece. They're not trying to code in a way that feels responsible. That feels like a snooze fest to me. A responsible comedy feels like a time to take a nap. So he's basically telling Hollywood to let young kids make good comedies because they know the jokes. They can relate to the jokes and they will laugh at the fucking jokes. And they'll come watch the movies if they're fucking funny. But when you try and make responsible comedies, you're making trash. Nobody's going to like it. And that's why comedies aren't like the movie we're about to watch, which is starring Vince Vaughn, and it is old school.
Good
That's all
segue.
the
Good
news I
segue.
have.
Thank you for the news,
Mm.
Dusty, once again. Intrepid reporting. Thank you. Just to touch on that briefly, by safe, I don't know what he means. I guess like politically correct or something, or like safe where not
Probably.
offensive or something.
Yeah.
I guess that's a good point. I don't even know what movies are comedies anymore, to be perfectly honest. And not because of that. Just like, are they making comedies anymore? I feel like the only movies that ever come out are like blockbusters or like blockbuster adjacent.
I mean, that's something that's going on at the Oscars and the Academies too. Like The Bear
Mhm.
is winning every year and it's starting to break records because it's the best comedy. And I know people that have never seen it and started watching, like my old roommate Sean. He
Mhm.
watches, he's like, definitely not a comedy. It's funny at times, but
Yeah.
this is a fucking drama.
Right.
He's
Yeah.
like,
All
so
we get-
what is a comedy? What isn't? That's subjective.
All we get is either rom-coms or action comedies.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
That's
No.
all we get.
You don't get movies like old school anymore. And I said to
Slapstick comedy.
I didn't
Like,
even. This isn't.
Adam Sandler. Well,
We'll talk about it, but I didn't even. I mentioned to you guys a couple weeks back that I had watched that movie Ricky Stenicki with John Cena,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that was like very
I
reminiscent.
still need to watch that. Yeah.
It was very reminiscent of the early 2000s, and it was refreshing. And I even told Nick to watch it because Nick was watching something else with John Cena that just came out. I can't remember the name of it, but he was like, "This movie's terrible." I was like, "Oh, watch Ricky Stenicki. It was really funny. If you like, reminds me of those early 2000s movies." But yeah, so we're here to make Marvin watch Old School today. And Marvin, before The Joker, before The Hangover, Todd Phillips made Old School. And this goes way back to 2003. I hadn't even graduated from high school yet. And I can't really think of a movie that defined my high school years more than Old School. Possibly the most quoted movie of my entire life. And speaking of quotes, Marvin, I'm curious, have you ever heard prior to today the phrase, "You're my boy Blue"?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And now you finally understand
I get the reference.
the reference. Yeah. So again, this is Old School, directed by Todd Phillips. And Todd Phillips, interestingly enough, I didn't know this. I just learned this, like doing research for the podcast today, is that he grew up on Long Island, not too far away from where I live. And he went to NYU film school and dropped out because he couldn't afford to complete his first film and pay tuition simultaneously. And he had done like a couple of I think low budget documentaries and stuff after college, and he actually ended up at Sundance for a film called Frat House, and he met Ivan Reitman, who directed Ghostbusters notably and a lot of the other legendary comedies of the 80s, and he ended up making Old School and Road Trip, another classic early 2000s comedy.
Road Trip is great.
Yeah,
Tom Green.
Yep, for Ivan Reitman's production company. And so Old School, and like Todd Phillips was like really not even after Old School, he wasn't really like that well known. And then it wasn't until The Hangover that really like propelled him into like fame and stuff, and he became like a big time comedy director and writer. And then he took like a huge shift with The Joker, and now he's just like a well-known guy. So before all that, you had Old School, and as Dusty said, it stars Luke Wilson, Vince Vaughn, Jeremy Piven, Will Ferrell, and a few others. Yeah, I don't know. This is one of my favorite movies like of all time. Like I would even honestly,
it's a great one.
I think there's even an argument to say that it could easily be considered one of the funniest movies of all time. Like just I think so. Watching it today for the podcast, I hadn't seen it in probably like a year or two. I watch it pretty often. But like I was like laughing out loud, like audibly, and I can't remember the last time I laughed out loud to a movie.
At things that are not even the dialogue, like the opening sequence when he's coming down the escalator and he's watching the dad beat on the kid's head. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
It's just a very funny movie, and like
it's super funny.
It was really surprising to me how, even despite like, I know this movie like literally line for line, like I could sit here and like recite the whole movie to you, that it's still funny, even though I know what's coming. I know the delivery, like I know everything. And I thought it was just very surprising to me that was my reaction to it. Marvin, being your first time watching it, what'd you think?
Yeah, it was hilarious. I forgot how effortlessly funny Vince Vaughn is.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like you talk about some of the dry humor like from UK comedy. I feel like he just does that like on a whole nother level.
His delivery is, like you said, effortless.
I gotta just say his earmuffs. You say whatever you want.
He's just, and I'm just like, how is this guy not cracking up? Or how is the people with him just not cracking up? Because he's just hilarious.
Yeah.
And he's just so serious when he's delivering all this stuff, but it's just hilarious.
My favorite scene with him in this movie is just a facial expression. It's when Luke Wilson Mitch comes home from work and like he's doing that first. Hang on one second. Hey, enough wrestling.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Go up. Go.
You got WWE going on in the background.
Yeah, they're just like fucking wrestling for no reason.
Right.
Sorry. One of my favorite scenes with Vince Vaughn, well, I think it's my favorite scene with Vince Vaughn. Probably one of my favorite scenes of the movie is when Mitch comes home from work and like Vince Vaughn's got them all, like all the potential pledges in the living room, and he's doing the thing, and they go into the kitchen, and he's like, I had a terrible day and an even worse month, and all I want to do is get some fucking sleep. And Vince Vaughn, like at that moment, his face, he goes, he just has like this look of disappointment. It's so funny, and it's like, but it's such a small thing. I rewound it like 3 times because he just goes, he's like, I don't know why you gotta do it. I don't know why you gotta do it with the effing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's so funny.
Man.
I love Vince Vaughn. That's what I was saying.
And then the subtle jab to Will Ferrell, like, hey man, listen, don't abuse it.
I wanted to bring up Will Ferrell too, because he is like, an icon now, but this is one of his first big roles, if not his first big role. Now, he was already a star because he had been on Saturday Night Live from 1995 to 2002. But
a long time, actually.
Yeah, but this was like his first real, like, I guess, big movie and starring role, and it made him part of what people called the frat pack. Now, in the 80s, Marvin, you had the Brat Pack, and it was all like the famous, all the big actors of the 80s from like basically John Hughes movies. It was Molly Ringwald and just those people.
Basically everybody in the Breakfast Club.
Basically everybody in the Breakfast Club. And so these guys were the frat pack, and it was basically, it was just comedy actors that emerged in the late 90s and early 2000s, and it was Jack Black, Ben Stiller, Steve Carell, Vince Vaughn, Paul Rudd, Owen and Luke Wilson. And so this movie was really like Will Ferrell's like first introduction into that, and he's also very funny in this movie.
For sure.
And it's interesting that he in this movie is not really doing what he kind of became known as. Like Will Ferrell, I think is a lot of people you talk to, they either hate or love Will Ferrell, and I think it's because of like
no. How do you hate Will Ferrell? That's
I don't
insane.
know. I've heard a lot of people, I hate Will Ferrell, because they hate that like shtick that he does. But that's
I could see how some of his movies would get a little old or not be very rewatchable, but some of his stuff is so brilliant. They're like him in Eastbound and Down is so good.
Oh yeah. But
I love Will Ferrell and everything. I even saw he was in probably the oldest movie I've seen him in was Superstar.
I mean, he was even funny in Barbie. Like,
yeah, he was.
But there's again little things he does in this movie that are just fucking hilarious to me, where like, when he goes streaking and he's like, we're streaking, and he just like his voice deepens. I don't know. That's just fucking hilarious to me.
I mean, like, okay, so I guess is it Zoolander where Ben Stiller is the model?
Yeah.
And he plays the evil villain. That's like that's an okay Will Ferrell movie. Like he's got some of those, I feel like, but
yeah, he has a lot of those, like,
but none of them are bad.
No, he has a lot. Like he's known for his silly comedies. I wouldn't consider this a silly comedy. Yes, it's a not realistic concept, but it's not like the humor's not silly. It's like adult humor.
No, it's not like Elf where he's like ridiculous.
Exactly.
But I love Elf, and that's just hilarious.
Elf is so good.
I see what you're saying. It's not that silly and crazy.
No, this is like adult themed stuff, and like, speaking back to Vince Vaughn, I took note of it because like one of my favorite lines of dialogue in the movie is right in the beginning where they're at Frank's wedding, and he's like, Columbus wasn't looking for America, my man, but that seemed to work out for everybody, didn't it? You're here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're 40 warrior.
He was such a bad influence.
You're still single.
Yeah.
Well, he was right all along.
Oh, yeah.
Frank the Tank instantly.
You can't get rid of Frank the Tank.
Yeah.
The next weekend after he got
have you heard
married.
that one? Either before, like, it's so good. It's so good
Once
when
it touches your lips.
Oh, no, I haven't.
Yeah, a lot of iconic lines in this stuff that I've like repeated in real life. Like when at the end where they're taking the test, Vince Vaughn's getting like the thing in his earpiece, and he just lips. He's like, "Good test." Like I've done that in school before, like to my teachers and shit. So this movie made a big impact on me. I love Luke Wilson. I always have, and it's because of this movie. Like, he's like
he's funnier than Owen.
I think so. He has a different comedic presence. But yeah, I do think so. But Dusty, you recommended this movie. Talk about it a little bit. What made you choose this for Marvin? Obviously, you know.
Well, it was just time to go back to, like, you know, like I said, I saw the Hot Ones interview and I was thinking about old school, and I remember Marvin saying, I'm pretty sure, because it was on the list, make Marvin watch a list. I've got 2 or 3 different lists, different notepads.
Yeah.
But that one was on there, so I asked if he'd seen it, and I hadn't seen it in a while. And there are some comedies that I think stand the test of time. I think this one.
Oh, totally.
I think Tropic Thunder is another one. The Broken Lizard guys, Super Troopers is another one.
Yeah.
Obviously one of my favorite all time, Beverly Hills Cop. There are some near perfect comedies, and this one stands up to that. I could watch this probably once a month, maybe not once a week, and never get tired of it.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
I feel that.
It just never gets old.
I do think it's a perfect movie. Like it's again, I was surprised like watching it again, because, you know, now when I watch stuff for the podcast, I watch it like analytically and like thinking of stuff to like talk about, and like I'm not just like turning my brain off and watching. And like I was really surprised that like, oh wow, I'm laughing out loud at all this stuff that I'm like so familiar with.
Even though you've seen it 100 times, you're still laughing out loud at the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it had that sweet runtime, like about 80 minutes.
Yeah.
Back when movies were 80 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Hour and a half.
Different.
I'm laughing at,
and it's a star-studded cast. Like, and nobody, like, there's the lead, who is obviously, you know, Luke. And then, you know, you got Vince Vaughn and Will Ferrell being close to second, but they're like everybody that showed the cab driver.
Dude, I wanted to
hilarious comedian.
Who was the blowjob teacher guy?
That's Andy Dick.
Andy Dick, another hilarious comedian.
You know who's another hilarious comedian? The diner guy.
There's so many.
He was hilarious.
So many in this movie. It's insane.
Oh, and the dean, dean too.
The guy in the diner has one of the bigger podcasts, The Fighter and the Kid.
I've seen him in what else?
Brian Callen is his name.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's the guy,
yeah.
He's the guy who serves the pecan pie.
It's just there's like if you go down, there's got to be like 40 or 50 comedians in this fucking movie. It's insane.
Yeah. Todd Phillips himself is in it. He was the guy who's like, I'm here for the gangbang.
Yes.
He often gives himself like a small little cameo in his movies.
Yeah.
But
you
I don't
mentioned
know.
earlier, like, you know, like they're not making true comedies anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there's a shortage of like good comedians turned actors or like sketch comedy actors today?
I don't know that there's
because I know there's good comedians, but not every comedian is a good actor.
I mean,
and sketch comedy actors. I don't know of any recent.
Yeah, I don't know.
ones.
I mean, like, but Bill Burr made that Old Dads comedy. It was pretty funny, but there's just nothing. There hasn't been anything in a while. I think a few people have tried.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
there have been funny movies.
Sure.
But
like legendary, like
no.
you could like this is gonna be an all-time great. Like I can't think of anything in the last 5 or 10 years.
No, I think
like it's up there with the movies I just named, like Super Troopers, you know, fucking.
I think the last good like
one.
really funny movie that I could even think of isn't even recent. Like I'm thinking like
Super Bad or something.
No, I'm thinking like Neighbors or something. Like or maybe Good Boys.
I thought You People was hilarious, but I don't know if I would put it up there with these movies.
All right, so I'm looking
that
at
was one that I thought was hilarious.
I'm looking at an IMDb list from most hilarious comedy movies from 2000 to 2023. And now this is just a user.
21 Jump Street might be up there.
This is just a user who made this list. But okay, so Good Boys is on top. That was a funny movie. I wouldn't put it in like iconic status. Stuber's on there with Batista. I thought that was funny. Not one of those. Like everything on here is like
action comedies.
Blockers was funny with John Cena. Not a fucking one of those like movies that I would say is like, oh man, I'll remember that one forever. I think the only one on here that I'm looking at just briefly that I think is truly hilarious, that I think is up there, is Game Night with Jason Bateman. Have you guys seen that?
No.
Yeah,
Game
that's
Night's
like
fucking funny.
Horrible Bosses was also pretty good. But that's where like you get into like you're not even talking about action comedies, but like the action star doing a comedy is a fun trope, like Kindergarten Cop, Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know, yeah, sure, it's a fun, funny movie, but I want comedians in my top all-time comedy movies.
I honestly think that this is just another case of like Marvel breaking the industry a little bit, in the sense that like it's not Marvel's fault, of course. It's just they made a lot of money and people want to recreate that. I don't know that there's a lot of money in comedies, really. Like you're not going to be, but it's because the industry is looking at it in the wrong way. They're like, we have to spend billions of dollars and then make it back. Like there's no reason why, let's say The Acolyte, for instance, had to be $200 billion and then, or million or whatever the fuck, you know, and then be like, oh man, we didn't make a profit. Let's cancel it. Like that doesn't need to happen.
Thinking is fucked up. Yeah.
So I just feel like, as you know, people who are in charge in the industry, they don't even want to take chances on comedies because, like, I feel like they feel like it won't get a good return on investment. But you don't have to invest that much in a bunch of people being funny. So I don't know.
You don't.
I think the only people that have been making movies similar to this in the last bunch of years is like Seth Rogen and like that group of people, and even they've kind of like dipped on production.
It's got to be a group though.
Yeah,
like these comedies, like I said, like Broken Lizard was a group, the Old School guys was a group, you know, the Hangover guys, they were kind of like these group of funny comedians that come up in the same era. Yeah, they usually like they'll stick together. Like Adam Sandler has his own group of guys. Yep, we don't have a group of guys like that in
currently.
Like,
we
this
don't.
generation.
No,
of like comedians that are like young comedians that are like growing up and cutting their teeth together on film and touring and stuff. It's not there.
We're getting, you know, like Marvin said, comedies that aren't just straight comedies. That's why, again, Ricky Stenicki, I was like, oh my God, this is so refreshing. Because most comedies are just rom-coms, like Marvin said, and they're not even good.
Nah.
Or
to your point about the money, the reason they're spending so much is they probably are trying to action comedy.
Yeah.
Where they need all these special effects. Even with some rom-coms, there's action sometimes in them. Yep. So it's like
I watched the one recently. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
What was the City of D or whatever? Like that was like a rom-com, but it was like an action rom-com. So it's like you need a big budget for that.
I just watched the one that I thought it was really good. The one with what's his name? The stuntman guy. What was that movie called? The Fall Guy. Fall Guy was I thought very funny and a very good movie, and it was an action com. It was like an action rom-com kind of, but still.
They were talking about Ryan Gosling in a different movie, not the Fall Guy movie itself.
Well, it was right. What do you mean, Ryan? Oh, okay. You were thinking I was talking about I don't know what you.
Ryan Gosling in some other movie, not the Fall Guy itself.
But he wasn't in the Fall Guy. Anyhow. But yeah, movies like Old School, I don't know. They just don't exist anymore. Ricky Stenicki was like this, but a little bit more ridiculous because it was a Farley brother. This is a little bit more straightforward, and I don't know. Just it holds up, and
this could be going. Yeah,
they could easily make movies like this.
It could be going back to what Vince Vaughn said of like Hollywood doesn't want to take the chance on a group of funny guys that have an idea and they're like, no, that's too edgy. We're not going to do that. We're going to do more. We're going to be a little more responsible.
I don't even know that I agree with him though, because this isn't an edgy movie. There's like one line of dialogue in this that like wouldn't play today. And that's right in the beginning where he says the F word, and it's hilarious. First of all, let me just say that.
Yeah, it was.
It's like, what do you my seatbelt is broken. What do you suggest I do about it? I suggest you stop being such a whatever. Yeah, and it's fucking funny.
Yep.
And that's okay to laugh at. Obviously, nobody would write that into a script nowadays, but that's the only real like controversial line in the movie. Everything else is like pretty fucking standard, just funny shit. It's guys like with funny delivery doing funny stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Yep. So I don't know, but so I wanted to ask, what's your guys' like standout moments? I guess Marvin, you start. What's your favorite? Because there's a lot of like iconic scenes in this movie. Obviously, the dart in the neck is like a big popular one.
Yes.
The streaking is a popular one. When this movie's brought up, I was just curious what you guys like. What's your favorite moment in this movie? I know what mine is.
Everything was pretty funny. Probably for me, the most ridiculous like standout moment was just probably the black dude doing the fucking flip.
And
that shit was just hilarious to me.
Yeah.
when
What
they
about
were
you,
doing the
Dusty?
fitness test.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, that's probably mine.
Nah, that shit's hilarious.
Man, I don't know if there's.
Actually, I take it back before you go. It was when they were first doing the pledges where they all tied
Oh,
the
yeah.
cinder block to their dicks, and then
Yeah.
the guy drops it in this
Same guy.
Oh my god, the manhole. Oh my god, that shit. I was just. Oh, God.
Will Ferrell freaking out after getting caught on fire is pretty good. The chase scene after he gets caught with the bribery tape.
Oh yeah.
Man, there's so much
yeah.
stuff that I could name in this movie. Will Ferrell walking around with a hockey stick in the kitchen,
And just breaks the glass.
For no reason. Anytime he did like a pledge thing, like a frat thing, yelling at them, I was laughing
So
yeah,
I have two.
because he was doing it at the
Yeah.
worst moments where he's like, "Yeah, it's not even that serious," and they cut to him like, "Drop it,
or
give
all
me
the
10 right
Godfather
now."
moments. He's like, yeah.
So I
Yeah,
know.
Can I
exactly.
call you the Godfather? No. Or then finding out that the boss's daughter is in high school.
Oh god,
It's
Um,
all funny. It's all funny.
I know what my favorite moment is, and it's always been. So it was easy for me, but I'll say it in a second. But the runner-up is when she comes to give the housewarming gift, and Frank comes out with the blow-up
yeah.
doll. She's like, "Nice doll, Frank." He's
Oh,
like, "Yeah, she's okay." Yeah, thanks. She's okay.
Yeah.
It's a very funny
she's
moment.
okay.
Yeah.
But my absolute favorite is like that running joke of him re-gifting the toaster twice.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, that was so funny.
So he re-gifts it to Mitch, and he's
He
like,
just kept trying to get away with
he goes
it.
to New Beginnings, and he's like, I actually got you this for your wedding. He's like, this model, or he's like, no, this exact one. He's like, he goes, oh, I'm embarrassed.
What do you think, Max? It's got 2 speeds.
Oh, wait, then he goes, I love it. And then he gives it to Max. Yeah, he's like, what do you think, Max? 2 speeds. Oh my god, it's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
And
Also, when Mitch tries to give the speech and Vince
Oh, yeah, that's very
interrupts
funny.
him.
But
Okay.
Todd Phillips, like, so he, if you look at a lot of his movies, he's very good at, I think, writing funny dialogue, because Hangover has a lot of similar like appeal to it in terms of the dialogue, namely from
Yes.
I think the funniest person in those Hangover movies. I mean, they're all funny, but the Vince Vaughn of those movies is for sure Bradley Cooper. Bradley Cooper's
Yes.
hilarious, and he doesn't do
Yes,
like
he is.
enough of those. There's one really funny line in Hangover. I'm just gonna say it. I know it's probably controversial by today's standards, but like right in the beginning of the movie where he's like, "I texted you, man, you didn't answer." He's like, "Texting's gay." Like it's just like a funny throwaway line. And I've always thought Bradley Cooper kind of reminded me of Vince Vaughn in Old School. So,
I can see it.
but yeah, I wanted to bring that up. But yeah, yeah, I guess, do you guys have anything else you wanted to talk about? Great movie. I mean, stands the test of time. I think it's one of the best comedies like ever
Yeah.
made.
It's hilarious. Yeah.
It is one of the.
Yeah.
It's on the Mount Olympus of comedies for sure.
Yeah, totally, 100%.
Yeah,
But
just makes me want to watch
Mount
more
Olympus,
Vince Vaughn stuff.
have you seen all of Todd Phillips's movies, Marvin?
I don't know.
Okay.
Probably not.
Vince Vaughn, we got to make Marvin watch. There's no way you've watched like the original Vince Vaughn movie with what was it? What's his the first movie he did, Dusty? Like with when they go to Vegas. The fuck is it called?
Nope. I'm not gonna pull that one out of my brain now that you ask me.
God, I gotta look it up.
I know what
Sorry.
you're talking about though.
Swingers?
Swingers, yeah. Thank
I
you.
haven't seen that.
That's like
Swingers, yeah.
very low budget
I mean,
movie.
but I have seen Wedding Crashers. I have
Mhm.
seen Dodgeball.
Wedding
Mhm.
Crashers is funny. Yeah. Dodgeball's great.
Dodgeball, obviously hilarious.
Swingers was like the first time people were like, "Oh, this guy's fucking hilarious."
Oh, okay.
It's like very him. Like if you're
He's
looking
got
for,
some good serious roles too.
yeah, he does.
That
If you're looking for his
Mob
dialogue,
movies,
though,
man.
like his funny dialogue, go watch Swingers. Maybe we'll make you watch it for the podcast one night.
Okay.
Remember that movie we watched, Dusty, you and I, with Catherine Newton, the horror movie he did where he was the killer? That was good. I
yes, Freaky or Friday.
think it was called Freaky.
Yeah.
Let me look that up real quick because that was good. That was
that
the
was
guy
a fun little watch.
Ty West who did that. Yeah, Freaky.
So, yeah.
And he played a good killer. That was Christopher Landon who directed that. Christopher Landon, I think, did something recently that we were talking about. Yeah, he did. We Have a Ghost. That movie we were gonna record. We were gonna talk about, but we didn't. But
yeah.
But I said it was like actually a pretty decent movie. Yeah. Anyhow, so old.
Was
school,
that one of the recordings we did that got ruined?
No,
I remember talking about.
I don't think we ever talked about it.
No,
right? No,
because I didn't watch it.
I think I had just told you guys to watch it because it was good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Old School. It's got a 7.0 on IMDb. I gotta give it the bump.
That's
it's
way too low.
It's a 9 for me.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a 10. Fuck it.
It's a 9 for me.
I don't have any issues.
The highest
with it.
rating
It
I'll
was
give.
Great.
Yeah.
It's a 10.
There you go. Boom. Done. Dusty refuses to give it a 10.
One of
but...
the highest. I won't give anything a 10.
Well, I mean, listen, I'm just going
No,
to
so
start.
good.
Like, I know, like, Marvin said it one time. He was like, have we ever, like, rated a Make Marvin Watch bad? And I was like, no, of course not, because we love them.
Yeah.
But, like, really, if you have nothing wrong with it, why is it not, you know what I mean? It's just got to be a perfect, I think it's a perfect movie. It's written.
I mean, I could nitpick and complain if I wanted to, but it's too good to, like, bother with it. So.
Yeah.
There's, like, one moment in the movie where I think the pacing is weird, but, like, that's such a stupid nitpick. Like, that's dumb. Who's nitpicking comedies? Like, it's just a funny fucking movie. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And on I think the extended version of it is even better. There's, like, some additional scenes and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's the one I watched because there's a scene where after the first party, before the dean shows up, like it shows the yard smoldering. I think that's in the
Oh yeah.
Oh my
There's
God!
a car
Actually,
on
I gotta
fire
take
in the
everything.
yard in front of the house.
I gotta take everything back about the funniest moment. The funniest moment is the end where the guy crashes the car.
Oh, Jeremy Piven just
and it
blows
flips
up.
onto the dean, and he just gets crushed, and then it explodes. So you see
Craig
both
Ferguson,
of them die.
is that
It's
who that
hilarious.
Both scumbags get killed.
One of
Yeah,
those, like,
that's Craig
Yeah.
Kilborn. Yeah,
The cheating guy, right? And
Craig
then
Kilborn, yeah.
the dean. That shit was so funny. I just didn't expect it.
Jeremy Piven too. We didn't give him enough love. He's got hilarious dialogue, and everybody knows of Jeremy Piven because of Entourage and his style of delivery. But in this movie, he's
This
fucking
is me
hilarious.
leaving. This is me leaving.
When he
It's so good.
when he first comes into the house, and Vince Vaughn's like, "Oh yeah, didn't we put you in a dumpster one time?" He's like, "Yeah, I got out."
I got out.
And Vince Vaughn goes, "Cool, man."
Cool, man.
It's such a funny moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to Jeremy Piven as well. But yeah, perfect movie. I can't say anything bad about it. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Marvin. I get worried sometimes when we make you watch some stuff because it's like a little outside your generation. You know what I mean? It's like, will you like it? But I'm glad you did.
Yeah, I don't think that's outside.
I think
because
comedies.
those early 2000s
Comedies stand the
comedies
test of time,
always.
yeah.
I was into those,
Mhm.
like like American Pie and those
Yeah.
type of comedies. I was always into those. So.
Yeah. I pulled up a list while we were talking, an IMDb list,
Of
and it's the best comedies of the decade. So from 2020 to 2010 to 2020.
What We Do in the Shadows has to be up there, right?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if this is like a list of. I don't know if this is based on rankings. It's not. This is just this person's personal list. I just wanted to see a list of comedies because, like, I can't remember any in the last like 5 years.
Oh no, not that's too soon. Yeah.
So, like, because there have been some good comedies like within the last 10 years.
Have they been pure comedies though, or like
there's
action comedies?
Well, there's like Neighbors, but that was before 2016. There's a lot pre 2016. It seems like 2016 was like the year like great comedies stopped being made, except for Game Night. Game Night was 2018. Then again, I'm just looking at this list very briefly.
Is it because of MCU and the fucking the craze? It's the fucking.
It seems
action craze.
A lot of
comic book craze.
I think so. I mean,
they're chasing that dragon.
Like,
they saw the billions coming in. Like, oh shit, we ain't doing shit else.
I think so.
Everybody make comic book movies right fucking now.
I honestly think so. And it's not just comic book movies, but it's just like big budget movies.
Big budget, big explosions.
Yeah. like I have
sci-fi, every type of
I have a hard time believing that movie executives are so stupid that they would just be like big budget equals big return. But it seems that they are. You know?
special effects.
Because again,
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm looking. I've seen 2 movies post 2016 that I'm like, oh man, yeah, that was fucking hilarious. Straight up, just straight comedy. So, yeah, I don't know. Weird time we're in, but definitely watch Old School if you haven't, folks, because it is a classic, and it's not dated at all. Like, if this movie could be made tomorrow, and it would be still just as funny. And
This person listed The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
that was a good one, but that's
one
not
of the
like this.
funniest.
That's not like this.
Yeah.
It's a funny movie, but it's not like this.
Yeah.
This is a specific brand of comedy. This movie.
You gotta let stuff like that marinate too, because you couldn't. I don't know. Like, I don't know if I would have said Old School. Like, what's the other one they did? The Vegas movie.
The
We were
Hangover.
just talking about it. Yeah, The Hangover. Like, The Hangover, when I saw that in theaters, I instantly thought, okay, yeah, this is a banger classic. Like, I automatically knew
Yeah.
this, like, Old School, kind of felt it, but wasn't sure if it would get, like, there's some movies you're like, okay, audiences are going to love this, and it's going to be class. Like, I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know if you could,
I mean,
you can judge a movie initially.
I
but
think
some you can, I guess.
I think The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent is hilarious, but it's a different kind of movie. It's just different.
It
It's
is.
not,
Different. Yeah.
it's like
It's not raunchy like this. And this wasn't that
Yeah,
raunchy,
exactly.
but they
Yeah.
did have some raunchy stuff,
totally.
showing some boobs. They don't do the comedies like that anymore, like American Pie or
Yeah,
This
Nick
Yeah.
Cage
or
doesn't do comedy.
or even
that,
like-
really.
fucking Bad Grandpa or whatever the fuck.
That movie's fucking hilarious. With
Yeah,
yeah,
the
I
Jackass
actually
guys.
forgot about. No. You're thinking of the one where you're thinking of the
Johnny
one
Knoxville's bad grandpa.
that's
No?
Bad Grandpa. Marvin's talking about the one with
Oh,
Uh,
Bad Santa.
no.
Maybe? Which one am I thinking of?
Mm.
You're pissing me off. Hang on a second. There is the Jackass
Bad
Presents.
Grandpa was funny though.
There is Jackass Presents Bad Grandpa. That's where Johnny Knoxville dresses up in his grandpa thing.
Yeah.
But that's
What
not
am
the
I
one you're
thinking of?
talking about. You're thinking of the one with what's his name? Fucking who? What is wrong with me? Hang on a second. The
Is
one
it-
with Robert De Niro.
Oh, Dirty Grandpa.
Dirty Grandpa. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's the one you're thinking of.
Yeah.
That
That was
movie.
kind of recent. That was 8 years ago.
But it was 2016. So
Yeah.
my theory
That's the
still
cusp.
holds up. I don't understand what it was. It's like in 2016. Maybe it's the political landscape, because 2016 is kind of when like all this fucking like,
China.
yeah. When Trump broke everybody's brains in 2016, this is when all this like woke, anti-woke bullshit started. So maybe that's what it is. Right?
Right.
Because
Maybe
Dirty
so.
Could be the
Grandpa
political, yeah.
Dirty Grandpa is one of the raunchiest fucking movies I've ever seen. And it's hilarious. I love that movie.
Yep.
So, okay, so I'm putting out a call to action here for everybody watching or listening to this,
Find us one.
including you guys. Leave a comment down below. Let us know. Name a movie post 2016 that reminds you of these raunchy sex comedies of like the early 2000s, right? Like American Pie, like Old School, like fucking Hangover.
Yeah, I mean,
There is no
yeah,
movie like
Tropic
it.
Thunder. Even like, there's no
No.
a comedy that's great that you think should go. The Mount Rushmore is what I meant to say earlier when I said the Mount Rushmore of comedies. Like, nothing's been done that comes even close to being considered being put on the Mount Rushmore comedies since 2016.
There is
Yeah, let us know.
There is no, I'm just calling it right here. There is no movie post 2016 like it, like these that we're talking about. So if you know of one and you're listening or watching, please leave a comment and let us know, because I'm genuinely curious.
They just stopped. Yeah. They just stopped. I don't know.
The only thing
So
that
Vince Vaughn wasn't totally wrong then. And
no, I don't think he was wrong. I don't think he was wrong at all. I
they're
don't know.
not making these comedies anymore.
No.
Why aren't they?
The only thing that I could think of that's even close to the realm of what we're talking about is a show and it's The Righteous Gemstones that I raving
Yeah.
mad to you guys about with Danny McBride.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, anything Walton Goggins in is going to be hilarious. Him and Danny McBride are in some hilarious.
Let me tell you
shit
something.
that's not that old.
If anybody is carrying the torch of comedy, it's Danny McBride. That dude is he's the funniest person alive. I
Is
think.
Vice
He is so
Principals
funny.
that old?
Vice Principals ended in 2016.
Oh, okay.
think-
Well, there you go.
And that show's great. I'm sorry,
I see it.
2017. 2017.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, it was.
But also
two
very,
seasons.
but also
No,
it's
that
got
was-
that style. It's that same style
Yeah.
of comedy. So like, we're living in an era where like, they're putting that fucking jackass in fucking comedies. What's his name? The fucking dude from Twisters
Johnny Knoxville.
that I fucking hate. No,
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah.
like that's the dude you're putting in comedies. Like, fucking Glenn Powell.
Yeah, he's not that
Glenn
funny.
Powell.
Glenn Powell's not funny. Yeah.
Because that movie we watched again, I cannot stress enough how bad that movie was, and I cannot believe that anybody found that movie funny. Okay, but also people are now snapping over this other movie that he did, Hitman, that's on Netflix. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, another rom-com.
6.9 on IMDb. Now, the only reason that I will give this movie leniency and say it's probably good is because it's Richard Linklater who directed and wrote it, and he's like a legendary filmmaker. So
Okay.
it's probably good. But Glenn Powell's not funny, and he's not even a good actor. I mean, fuck that guy. But yeah, I don't know.
Fuck that guy.
Leave a comment. Let us know. What do you think? Give us a movie post 2016 that we're talking about.
Yeah, let us know. Send us a tweet.
And if you have not
Send us
watched,
a post on X.
no, just comment on YouTube. It's better for the algorithm. Speaking of the algorithm, leave a like, subscribe if you have not done so already. We do these
Yes.
generally once a week. Towards the end of August, we all had some stuff going on that we had to miss a couple episodes, but we're gonna try to be back on schedule going forward. And yeah, so
We got
subscribe.
another move coming up, so yeah, we'll be pretty consistent
That's
until
okay.
the move, and then we'll be pretty solid for the next 100 episodes.
That's right.
Let's go.
So again, leave a like, comment, subscribe, do all that cool shit. Helps us with the algorithm. And catch us next week to see what we're talking about then. We appreciate you hanging out with us.
See ya.
Asta.